Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us right here. It is a great, great Monday evening, and welcome to the show, guys. That's right. Welcome to the show right here on Tejano Time Podcast. We got a great guest for you guys tonight, right here. My co-host is back, Mr. Antonio V. And guys, let's welcome Mr. Anthony Quintanilla from Grupo Potente to the show right here on Tejano Time. What's up, my brother?
How's it going?
Kilo Mas, guys, thank you for having me on. Keith, it's been this has been a long time that I should have been on this show, but thanks to Hilda, here I am, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Yes, definitely. Definitely happy to have you along here to share your story and a lot of your projects that you're working on. There's a lot of great things happening right now with Potente, and again, welcome to the show. Tony, you were missing in action last week. You had a great deal and you had a great thing going on for you. So welcome back. I know you missed it. I know you missed being on the show.
I did call you. I was trying to get in, but man, I'm trying to get settled in. I just didn't have enough time. But hey, like you said, I'm here, and
Awesome. Well,
it's
glad to have
I
you
got,
back.
I got the Tocayo here with me, so Antonio and Anthony, come on, man, the Tocayo right here.
They used to call me Tony, and I was like, no, I go by.
Tony's not good enough for you. It's like me. I don't know. You can call me Antonio, you can call me Anthony, but Tony, and maybe unless I was playing Scarface, then Tony Montana. Now that would sound chingon.
There you go.
There you go. Heck yeah. So check this out, Anthony from Potente, guys. Anthony Quintanilla from Potente. Have come back. I would say. I mean, it's been some minute. I remember you guys from the '90s, man. From Linda Morenita days back in those days when you guys are doing some stuff with Freddie Records, because I was actually working at a radio station there in Corpus Christi at the time in the '90s. Very young, yes. Magic and did Club '98, KNDA. Did it all back there, back in the days in the
Hey,
'90s.
Magic, wasn't that the little one way out there going to
Way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Petronila.
I remember going there. That's a long time
Yes.
ago, man. Yeah.
Yes, a long time ago. So, again, that was the era that you guys were in there, that were doing great things. There, Potente was huge in that time. And you guys, I guess, would you say you stepped away from the music for a bit, or you guys just laid,
A bit,
kind of step
maybe a couple of decades.
couple of decades? Yeah, well, just a couple. Not too many.
A decade and a half.
Even
Unfortunately, when we were doing what we were doing, we were young, and
Mhm.
like for younger artists who are, I mean, in your mid late teens, it's difficult to handle success. Some
Mhm.
people, some people, some artists can at that age, or they're surrounded by the right people to keep them in line. And you see, and in the English market, you see a lot of these younger artists who que pegan grande, like a Justin Bieber or a Britney Spears, and look at them today. And why
Yeah.
do you think that is? That they are the way they are? It's
Mhm.
because, dude, the fame, it just te
Yeah.
vuelve loco. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now
Yeah.
you see them, the amount of pressure. I mean, we didn't get to deal with it on that level, but you see younger artists like that in pop music who start in their mid-teens, and dude, when
Mhm.
they're in their 30s and 40s, a lot of them pues, están todos trastornados and stuff because there's a lot of pressure put on them, and
Yeah.
people don't give a shit. You got to go execute. You got to go execute. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes you're better suited just wait a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let these people become adults and
Yeah.
enjoy life a little bit, and then become that, because you can navigate the highs and lows and what's required of you as an artist
Mhm.
much better in your mid late 20s than you do in your 15 to 18 years old. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's why we got burned out big time. And my brother got married and had a family, and then yeah, it is what it is. And then once our families grew up, and now, well, you want to see if we can play again, see what we got left in the tank, and here we are.
Yeah.
Wow.
So going back to that little subject, do you think it also has a lot to do, like you named a couple of pop stars, and nothing against none of those people, right?
I
But
don't know.
do you think they just didn't have the proper guidance, and it was really all fame?
No,
You're
no, no,
young.
no, no, no. On the contrary, I think because they could do it, that they were surrounded by people that allowed them to do it. But the stress and strain at that young age of trying to deal with that
Yeah.
over years and years, I mean, it's got to have some like traumatic type of effect on you as you get older. You know what I mean? But because some people, like, we didn't have great representation, and my dad, he did it the best way he could. And you know how it is, man. Your dad's always wrong. I don't give a shit. When you're 15, 18, 19 years old, doesn't matter what your dad says, your mom says, they are wrong. You know it all. So we needed somebody who was outside, who wasn't our father, and perhaps we could have played a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, my dad did the best that he could. And one thing I always knew, that he had our best interest at heart. Whereas if you turn over a couple of young guys like that to just somebody, these sharks,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't been able to say that they had our best interest at heart. My dad, whether he did it right or wrong, he always took care of us. Then, man, he wasn't going to have anybody taking advantage of us in no form or fashion. So I don't know what's right or wrong, guys, but I know I didn't get taken advantage. I didn't get taken advantage of in any form or fashion with my dad. That was the upside.
There you go. Anthony Quintanilla, our guest tonight, right here from Potente, guys. Glad you guys can join us. Share the live if you're watching. We want to send a big shout out to everybody watching on YouTube channels. También everybody watching on Tejano TV as well. Saludos para todos ustedes. Gracias. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Anthony, so what inspired you to come back? Like you said, you wanted to see what you had still left in the tank. So was there just anything going on, in your life at the moment, at that particular time, that you thought, okay, well, you know what? There was a lot of other bands that were actually, that were huge back there in the 90s that were also, thinking about, where they were already coming back. You know what I mean? How long has it been since you guys did make that second time, your
Well,
comeback?
I know, 'cause my brother, he never wanted to, when he started to get the itch to perform again, or to, just play, period. Right. He didn't want to perform without me.
Mm-hmm.
Once he was out, about 2012, 2013, I started hooking up with some local musicians here in the Alice area, because I live in Benavides. So I was playing locally.
Mm-hmm.
And from about 2014, 2015 to about 2019, I was playing with this local group here in Alice La Fe. And we did good. I mean, I had some musicians, good friends of mine, and we were doing it. And my brother, I knew, he wanted to come and play, but he didn't want to play with just anybody, because he had a chance when Jaime got out. The Roel and them, they reached out to him. They wanted him to go play for them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they were after him bad when Jaime got out. And then I know he had opportunities to sit in with Macizo, that he chose not to do it because he wanted to perform with me. And I'm like, well, it's hard for me to step out of the band that I'm in. You know what I mean? Because I ain't
Yeah.
really done nothing. But then some shit happened. Ya sabes que en este pinche negocio algo pasa siempre. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not gonna go into the grand details, but you know what? I walked out after I walked out of a show at the end of it. I said, you know what, Los Guacho, I'm calling my brother on the way home. Hey, wait, you want to play? This was 2019. You want to play? Yep. Okay, done. I told some other guys, let's go in. Then we started up again as Eficaz, because we wanted to run from Potente, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't. It left such a bad taste. The politics left such a bad taste in our mouth that we just didn't want to have nothing to do with Potente, or nothing to do with it. And I remember my dad, when he's still alive, he said, mijo, no jala así. La gente nunca se va a olvidar de ti. I'm like, yeah, but I'm at the time, when we stopped playing, I was damn, 20, 24, 23, something like that. In my early
Yeah.
20s. I said, man, I could
Mm-hmm.
take 10 years off, still be in my early 30s, man. Are you kidding? People are going to forget about me. Mind you, we're 30 years removed
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
from 1996, and I still go. And I'm 50 years old. People say, Potente. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Once I realized I wasn't running for this, I'm in my late 40s, and I can't run for this. My dad was
Yeah.
absolutely right. The people are not going to forget who you are. They're not going to forget. And I guess it's a good thing, because that means you left an impact. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You
Yeah.
can,
Of
anywhere you
course.
go in this industry, so they're going to recognize you. I mean, there's pros and cons. One is you can't start all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the bad thing. But the good thing is that people know who you are. You know what I mean? So you can always, come back and hopefully, get going again. And that's not have to start from way down here. There's a little, couple of steps up. And
Yeah.
we've been doing it, and just slowly chucking away. See where this could end up.
Where it's going to end up. Yeah, and you're doing great things, and you're still huge in Monterrey. I can honestly
Yeah.
say that. Yeah.
And that's funny. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to tell you this is a double-edged sword here. I'm going to tell you because it's been it's been challenging to get over there. We did one show over there, and obviously you saw the video because you're commenting on it. The damn people. I mean, the public at large knows our music. They're singing. It doesn't matter, man. We could say the set that we play right now. We could go play it, and we don't have to sing one single verse or one single chorus. The crowd would sing every single one of them.
Yeah.
And now it's a good thing. That's why we set it up like that. But it's been a challenge to get back over there for some odd reason. Just promoters or something, it just doesn't work. We set a date in November, it got canceled, and
Canceled.
and it, and it's weird because you know that the fan base wants us over there. And now the double-edged sword that I'm speaking of is here. The only song that people want to hear from us that is our music is Linda Morenita. Outside that, the rest of those they don't want to hear, but we have to keep playing those because when
Exactly.
the show comes up, we can't
Yeah.
just go over there. So it's hard to navigate that because we go into our shows and people are like, "When are you going to play Linda Morenita?"
Hmm.
That's the
Yeah, and I
only one
get that.
here.
Yeah, I get that from a lot of, and then it's not, and you're right about that. And here, locally, well, not just locally here in Houston, but I'm saying in Texas, period.
Yes,
I've
it's
gotten some big artists from Gary Hobbs all the way down to say the same thing you just said right now. It's hard to get people to get on the dance floor and dance to your new stuff because they don't recognize it. Not that they, I mean, it's not being played for one on radio. The new stuff that, I mean, they're not playing it enough to where they can get recognized, but they want to play the old stuff. So they go out there and they start playing some songs from back then. Again, Linda Morenita, or say for instance, use Gary as an example. I mean, Tres Rosas from back in the day, and the crowd goes
right.
wild.
And
You know what I
they
mean?
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
And that's difficult not just for us, for all of the artists that are performing today. And a lot of that has to do in my mind because I have this conversation with a lot, not just my guys but any friends of
mm,
mine within the industry. And I always tell them, I've told my mom just a couple of weeks ago, I said, all this what we're doing right now, this is great, you know what I mean, but it ain't ever going to top back when, I mean, in my mind, it never going to top when we used to have to go to Houston. If we were going to go to Houston and do a radio promo and I'm sitting right next to you, hey, how you doing, this and that. Now
yeah,
this is great, you know what I mean.
yeah,
I mean, if you can't do that, well, this is your second best option. It's fine, but it's not the same, man. Like sitting there, and then hey, let's go eat afterwards. You make
yeah, yeah,
a more personal connection than this here.
yeah.
And then the digital platforms, how things work with that, and streams. It ain't sales, it's streams. I'm like, back in
Hmm.
the day, you were trying to get sales on your CDs and stuff, and I tell my mom, nowadays it's all about streams, and or you know what? And in a social media world, everything is so fast paced. You know what I mean? In 2 weeks, your shit is ancient.
Yeah.
This is true. In 2 weeks, you're ancient. So now you got people. I'm going to use the Junto Cats as a classic example because I see them more than anybody. They stay busier than any of the young groups that I see.
Hmm.
They're about to drop the third single this year.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
we're not even April. How do you make a hit? How do you ever make a Linda Morenita hit? That song stayed on the radio for 8 months and
Hmm.
back in
Yeah.
1996. Think
Yep.
about it. From January to August. That's how long that song was out, and it was on charts all over the place. How can you get a song like that if you're throwing out music every month?
Every month.
But
Yeah.
the flip side to that is if you wait much more than a month, you're ancient because we live in a different time. So I don't blame them for doing that. I mean, shit,
Hmm.
they're fresh. Everything is fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once again, how do you navigate that? I don't know if there's a good way or a bad way a right or wrong way to navigate that because they're doing what
Yeah.
I mean. We're talking about it. You know about it.
Yeah.
Third single
Third
in
single.
in,
Hmm.
in 3 months. That's one per month. Can they even perform that many songs live at the end of the year?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're spending money, but I'm not knocking them because they're relevant. You see,
Hmm.
that's the flip side. They are relevant. Whereas if you do it old fashioned and you try to milk a damn single for 3 or 4 months, hell, just 2 months, that shit's ancient, bro.
Yeah.
It's it.
Yeah.
It's ancient.
You're right. You're right. It is. And
It's a different time.
yeah, and it again, it works it has its pros and its cons, but I mean, I'm
Right.
sure Tony can vouch for it as well. For being radio, we're
Yeah,
radio
yeah,
jocks, so we know how that works. You can only, I mean, a song will never get played enough if you're going to release 3 singles in 4 months.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll become agent. It'll be just a thing of the past in a week or two. Because
right.
we're already focusing on the new single.
Of course.
And then the next month comes another single. So what happens
But
to
the
that
flip
first one?
side to that is
Yeah.
that they're always relevant. And I
Hmm.
think it's set up for them to be in a social media era. You've got
Hmm.
to stay relevant in an era where,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be new and fresh and fresh. Well, that works in their favor. But
Yeah.
how are you ever going to get a huge hit? This
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? How do you
Yeah.
make?
Yeah.
You just said it. How do you make a big
Yep.
hit? I'm just telling you.
No,
You can't tell
it's
me
tough.
because nobody can.
Nobody
Because
can.
you're
Yeah.
fighting being relevant and not having a song out long enough to be able to build a hit. That's why you don't have the hits like you did back in those days
Back in those
because
days.
social media. But you could get streams. You may all
Hmm.
streams, yeah. But streams, you know what? They don't pay you when you go to your show.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They
You're
don't
right.
need people
Yeah.
going to your shows necessarily. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas the
Exactly.
radio play back in the day, you guys coming back, remember DJing back in the 90s. If you had a number one hit on radio, on FM radio, bro, you were going places.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't care. You could be number one here, and you could have a million streams sitting at your house, and that doesn't. Oh yeah, but the streams are from China and they're from Germany. I don't know. People are gonna be flying across to any of your shows over here. You know what I mean? I don't
Exactly.
care if you have 100,000 streams or 500,000 streams across the world. Those people aren't flying to your shows.
Hmm.
You're getting my drift of where
Yeah.
how it's. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I really don't know. Maybe you guys could tell me. I don't know.
Well,
And
we
then
try. Go
yeah,
ahead, Tony.
it's fair to say because that's one of my biggest things since I joined with Keith is we hear a lot of stuff, right? So I
Yeah.
hear the artist that puts out the song and then they don't give it a chance to get anywhere, and they already put out another one, so people lose focus of it. For some people, it does work, like you said, pa que se le quitan. Some of them, if you stay consistent, or I don't know, like you said, I don't know how they do
Yeah,
it.
but those few artists that you're referring to, where are their shows?
Yeah,
Are they selling out shows? Because remember, Keith, in the mid late 90s, if you were
Yeah.
number one, or like say you have 100,000 streams right now. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but I mean, I guess quite a bit. But do they translate to you putting people in on your shows?
yep,
Where
exactly.
it's number one hit back in the 90s,
Mhm.
mid late 90s, you had people in shows. That's
Hmm.
the bottom line. So call me old fashioned, and I'm okay with that. We all come from a different era, but I'm not gonna blame the newer artists, and I urge the new artists to push the envelope, like Jay. I
Yeah.
like Jay Sterling. Jay Sterling does. He does
Yes.
some good things. What do you call it? He's edgy with his music, and
Mhm.
he gets a lot of streams. That's good. But hopefully, someone like him in his early mid 20s, pushing his sound. Maybe
Hmm.
in 5 or 6 or 7 years, you got some other people wanting to do his sound and maybe changing the sound a little bit so it could be a little more fresh for a younger audience.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's what we need to do. I'm too old to do that. Not that I don't love it. I love playing something different, but you need people in their 20s to be doing that. And that's why I always mention Jay. Jay's a good guy. I had him on my show, and I support what he's doing. And all the younger artists that are pushing the envelope like that, I mean, keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Same with you guys. You know what I mean? You're back for a second round. You know what I mean? So, I mean, have you ever like just thought about it? Like, man, we're really doing this. You know what I mean? Talk to your
Uh, you
brother and
know,
just said, you know what? We came back. We're doing it, but what is different now than the way it was before? And I know we talked about the selling out the shows, the number one
no, no,
hits
no,
and
no, no,
things
no,
like
no,
that. But,
because you're talking about personally.
how do you feel now about going forward with Potente than you did what you had
This is a
in the
good question,
90s?
Keith. This is a good question. I usually tell the host when they give a good question. This is a very good question because uh it was a huge challenge for us to come back. We wanted to because we wanted to play. Now, after being gone 15 or 20 years, the amount of talent that there is today is,
Hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous how many the quality of musicians. You're talking about nearly a generation goes by. So you start to doubt, can I still do this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, we love to play, yeah, but can we still fit in? Where do we fit in today? You know, with the
Hmm.
artists that they are today. And it's funny because I felt we felt that it was just us, but Elsa and Jennifer were doing the same thing around the same time, coming back. And I remember
Coming back.
seeing interviews of Elsa and Jennifer, and their look in their face. I said, "Man, I know that look. It's the same look that I have." It's true because they're like, it's not they don't know that they can sing anymore. Obviously, Jennifer's. I mean, come on, have you seen her shows? Her energy, her passion when she's up there. Elsa, the same thing. But you just, I mean, man, where do I fit in? And that confidence to gain it back is very difficult. That's why when we're performing, I'm like, we didn't know what to perform. And then when we started going to Mexico, people started, they want to hear those songs. So I said, you know what? Let's do some of our old stuff, even though people won't necessarily dance
Yeah.
to it or react to it. But maybe it'll give us a sense of direction.
Hmm.
And what it didn't give us really a sense of direction, but what it did was give us confidence. We believed again. We believed we could perform. If you watch the fanfare, he was like,
Yeah.
we were there, like, dude, these guys, I mean, these guys, they're a pretty damn good band. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like that when we started a few years ago. It took years for us to build that confidence and believe. And that, I think, answers your question, you know, far
Hmm. For sure.
how I felt different because you just don't believe that you can do it. And thank God, I believe again.
Well, you guys
Oh
are
my,
on. You're doing great things, man. So props to you and your band, your teams. I mean, your
Mhm.
teammates there, your bandmates. Again, you got your brother in the band, and who else do you got? You see, you got some of the same
mhm,
original people there
mhm.
from
Johnny,
from
Johnny,
yeah.
that was kind of the thing we hung our hat on with
Hmm.
when we started again. When I got my brother back, then I called Johnny
Uh huh.
and said, "Man, let's run this back." I said, "I don't know where it's gonna end, what will happen. It doesn't matter." I said, I call it finishing the ride, guys. Let's finish the ride together. It doesn't matter how it finishes." I said,
Hmm.
"Let's just perform, and whatever happens, happens. One of us gets sick, call it." You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
is. I mean, at this age, hell, I could get a call. My brother terminally ill, Johnny, or myself. I get bad news. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
first and foremost, that's why I'm always saying, man, I treat every performance like it's my last because
mhm.
it really could be. I never felt that way when I was in my 20s.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, you're right. And you mentioned that, or you talked about that. Everything's different. There's so much pressure
Yeah,
going on that you don't. That doesn't
you
even
don't.
cross your
I
mind.
couldn't. I couldn't. I didn't. How could I say? Not that I didn't enjoy it. I didn't. I just didn't. I didn't value what was going
Hmm.
on when I was 20, 21, 22, 23 years old when we were performing. I mean, you're going here, you're going there. This is just the way it's going to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Never going to
Hmm.
finish. And to where I am today, my guys, man, I'm just I'm always enthused and tell the guys, man, it's the last show. Pretend it's the last show, bro, because it could be. And enjoy the ride. Enjoy this time that we're here. This is what we love to do. Enjoy
Yeah.
it, soak it in, because next week's show is not guaranteed and we don't perform every week. We try to perform like once a month, you know.
Hmm.
So I said we don't know if we're going to get to the next one, so enjoy this one, and if we get the next one, we'll do the same thing. And that's why I think you get the type of energy that you get with us, because we get up there and like this is our last show. We really got to leave it
Yeah.
all on the stage. Whereas if
Hmm.
you're gigging every week, well, that's all right. This one's subpar. Next week we'll kick ass. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
we got to kick ass every single one.
I'm
So
going to you,
go.
Anthony, real quick,
Okay.
and I think Keith's headed in that direction, but I don't know if you can see the comment or not. But I hear you bring an awesome light show to the
I
to your
I
shows as
did.
well.
I can't see the comments, but thank you for reading it. Yes, this is one thing that I've been. My brother, goddamn, my brother. He doesn't do a lot, but he'll do this. You know what I mean? He just whispers into my ear, and he knows this goddamn autistic son of a gun. He's gonna put this shit to play, right? So he goes and watches a lot of the rock bands and emu bands, and he's there, and him and his girlfriend, soon to be wife, and they go to a lot of the rock shows. And he says, "Man, you know what, man? I saw this band, this group. I don't know the groups because I don't go to them. But he goes, man, the light show was phenomenal, bro. Yeah, man, they got to be playing the backtrack, man, dude. The lights, the way they work with the music in conjunction." And then he said, "Man, we could do that." And I looked at him and said, "Oh, you mean I can do that, right?" All you had to do is put the idea in my head, and then a month later, I have it all. I have it all. I had in
Yeah.
here. I had light smoke. I smoked out my house when I was doing it because the damn Ableton and the light key it got stuck on, and numbered it. I had two foggers, man. The whole house got fogged out. This is the shit that goes on in my house. Okay, lights here, lights everywhere. I didn't care, but at the end of it, I put together the light sequences, lined them up to the backtrack, and then I have a TV screen in front of me. So I would plug that to my laptop. I got a new laptop, Mac, connected it all, set it all together. So when I push that space bar, bro, the screen, the lights, and then we're playing to the backtrack because that's the only
Hmm.
way that you can sync up your music to the lights, the cues of the lights and the screen.
Uh-huh.
So we play a lot of times like the fanfare, you can't do that. So we just play live. But when we play our own shows, the idea was to make a production that was similar to a production like you would see with maybe La Frontera or Intocable, but on a much, much smaller scale. And the people who pay attention, they're like, wow. Oh, at the end of the song, poof, everything cuts off. And then in between the shots, dun, 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 the lights are going on with the shots of the song because they're all pre-programmed.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
you pay attention to all the groups, I don't care. You can have phenomenal lights, but they're
Yeah.
doing this. They don't move with the music. I've seen Jay's stuff, and don't get me wrong, Jay and I saw AJ Castillo today. Man, badass lights. I don't know if they're not his. I don't know if they're his or not, but they are phenomenal lights. But they're not moving in conjunction with the music. That
Yeah.
is a whole different impact. And my brother, he was just saying, bro, te aventates. Well, it took me, I mean, at least 40 or 50 hours to set that shit up.
Damn.
But that's that's the thing, and that was the idea. So that's what Tocayo's referring to.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I think I'll let Keith jump in on this one because
Go ahead.
we're getting a lot of feedback on your lights.
Are we talking about the lights on your shoes?
Oh, the lights on my shoes? That's another story. That's another story. We're all about the lights over here. Well, see, one of the things that kind of, and maybe because it's just me and I didn't hear it about somebody else. One of the things that they kind of got underneath my skin a bit when we're coming back is, oh man, there's the 90s. There's the 90s. There's the 90s. I'm looking, man, and now I'm not hearing this from one person. I'm hearing it from everybody on the comments and everywhere. So I'm taking this as a slight. What the hell? Did we forget how to play after 1999 or what? That's the way I feel. So I don't think necessarily that people meant it that way. It's just that they were synonymous from that time.
Yeah.
And I have referenced this in other interviews, whereas like the Intocables and the Bobby Pulidos, the bands that were around at that time, the Palominos, Solido were shortly after in the early 2000s. Those bands don't sound today nothing like they sounded then. But the people, they continue to perform. So as they change, the fans changed with them. Us, we didn't perform for 18 to 20 years. So they still think we're going to sound like that. There was no change for us that occurred. We're coming back, so they're locking us in. So I said, you know what? I'm going to run with this shit. I'm gonna put up a whole thing, retro outfit, the light up shoes, everything that we do is somewhat retro. Well, we're from the 90s. Here you go. Blast to the past. Feel the nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
that's what I'm running with, man.
that's a great thing, man. And there's so many comments coming here. Un saludo también para Mr. Bumper Gomez out there. It says, tell him who brought up his shoes. Haha.
Oh, Bumper, dude! I had everything set up for Bumper, and we're sitting there on Bumper's right, and he didn't see because he got a small little section right there, right? So we're all together right there, and then I bought it up, and then he looks down, his eyes light up, dude, the shoes, and I put it up like that and showed and he's like, dude, I said, oh man, we came to Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, bro. Are you kidding me? We came all blinged out. I had my jacket, sunglasses. I said, man, this is a special occasion, man. We got here on
Hasta
Bumper's
los
Wacky.
calzones were lighting up, no?
Damn, they were lit up. He couldn't see them, but if he could have, he'd have seen their light up too.
Damn it, boy.
That was a good time being on bumpers, man.
Yeah, great dude, man. Shit. Everybody that's tuned in. We got a lot of people tuned in right there también. That about to wear shoes that light up. Yeah, that's what he says right there. Mr. Anthony Patterson tuned into the show. Vicky V. Limorton has tuned in. We got Irma Perez también. Gigi La Chicana, thank you for tuning into the show. We appreciate you. That's right. And don't forget to check out her show también. Mr. Joaquin Chavez. Saludos, carnales. Keith Leal, Antonio J. Anthony. That's right. So, yeah, we got a video that we want to share, guys, right now. And this has a lot of that in what we're talking about, the lights and things like that in there. So we're going to check this video out before. We'd also have the brand new single that's out as well, which is entitled Amigo Mio. We'll get to before the end of the show here. But check out this video, man. I want you guys to watch it and watch it fully, okay? Check it out. This one is Ojitos Traviesos right here from Potente, right here on Tejano Time Podcast. We'll be right back, guys.
Hey Q, se me hace que este video va a salir tremendísimo. ¿Sabes tus partes?
Sí me la sé, pero si quieres escucharlo otra vez.
Seguro, ¿no?
¿Dónde andarán aquellos ojitos traviesos, de los cuales muchas veces yo me vi? Yo recuerdo que llorando me decían que serían solamente para mí. Cada vez que yo recuerdo esos ojitos y su boquita la que es igual a miel, me dan ganas de buscarla y de rogarle, si es preciso arrodillarme ante sus pies. Pero luego que recuerdo sus traiciones, de las cuales no olvidaré jamás, con coraje me dedico a las mentiras y con copas voy a tratar de olvidar. Tomo y tomo hasta sentirme embriagado y no logro separarte de mi mente, pero seguiré tratando de olvidarte y borrarte de mi mente para siempre. Qué terrible ser amar sin ser amar, sin tener una esperanza tal siquiera. Pero así yo pagaré por este mundo, solo y triste y despreciado hasta que muera.
¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Preparado?
Preparado, compadre. Yanni, vamos a ver qué pedo.
Eso, hombre.
Act 4. Action.
Oiga, Q. No, you were still saying action. I didn't go in. My fault.
Dale, María.
Do it again, do it again. Sing. Oh, it's good, Dan.
Start walking towards the camera. Start walking towards the camera. Start walking towards the camera.
I ain't the only one that likes his shoes. My brother over here likes his shoes too. Uh-huh.
Woo! Action.
¿Cómo te sientes? ¿No? I can't see that, right? Yes, ¿cómo chicas que no?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me get Tony back on there. He got lost right there there he is right there.
No, come on, brother. Come on, Tocayo. You can't get
Wait,
lost.
wake up, Tony.
I was busy dancing, man, and I lost control of everything.
It's funny, Keith. I'm gonna go off something. This song, all these songs that we released last year were
Mhm.
songs that we did back on our debut album, Unleashed, with Freddie Records back in 95, I believe, the beginning of '95.
Okay.
And once again, we put out 4 singles last year, and 3 of those we played. This one we never performed live. My
Oh,
point.
wow.
And we're ready on Amigo Mio. We haven't
Mhm.
performed that one yet, but that one we will be performing because that is an original. But it's my point precisely is that we put out 4 singles last year and we
Mhm.
couldn't perform all of them because you still got to play your covers because that's what we're gonna get some people to dance. So you give them some of your stuff, some of what they want to hear, and hopefully that you get a good mix of that. 4 singles, we played 3 of them. One we never got to, and we never will. And
Yeah.
we'll just watch the video. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
right.
we put in time, money in something that we really didn't market out there because there's not enough time.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of without not being able to play that song. But the little back of what we did all last year, they were all songs off our debut CD Unleashed back in 1995. And this one, Amigo Mio, is the new one that we're dropping. It's already out. The video will be out here on April 7th. That's our first original written by our drummer.
Wow. So yeah, there's a story behind that, huh? Is there
yeah.
not? Well, yeah. Tell us a little bit about that before we jump onto that song right there.
Okay, Amigo Mio, that song is a song that my drummer Johnny wrote for his brother. I mean, long time ago. I mean, I don't even know. You'd have to ask him how long ago, but it's been a long time. 10 years, maybe
Wow.
more. And we needed a new song. And I told him, you know what? Let's do your song. And he's like, well, I don't really write too good. Nobody gives a shit if you write too good, man. The tune is good. We'll put on some good little arrangements. You know what I mean? Y se mueve la gente. And because I know I'm always in, what I say, conversations with people who are talking about lyrics. I know Bobby Pulido's one who said this before. And I've heard him on year and a half ago about talking about Tejanos need better songs. Okay?
Mhm.
That we need better, higher level songs. And I agree to a certain extent, but I'm going to tell you that I know some writers that have big hits and they don't speak the greatest Spanish and they don't write the greatest Spanish, but the connection with the listener is what counts. I really don't care how great the message is. Oh, it's not a high level vocabulary in Mexico. So we need Mexican song. Hey, si mueve la gente. That's more important.
Yeah.
Can the song, do the people move their head, or does there a connection? Are they amigo mio? It's a real simplistic tune, real simplistic lyrics. People, they move that.
They move.
You get
yeah.
complex lyrics that us Tejanos sometimes might not know, and then you're like, well, you're kind of getting turned off. You know what I mean? Because you don't understand a damn song. Yeah, I gotta go to Google and translate to understand what the hell is being said. And mind you, I have a pretty high vocabulary in Spanish. I can speak Spanish fairly well. But even like that, I still hear some. So le tumba some of the shine. Emilio and Raulito's songs back in the 90s, they weren't the greatest compositions in the world, but they had nice little tunes, nice arrangements. And you guys come from that era. Emilio, are you kidding me? Emilio's tunes, they were badass, bro. You know what I mean? Jesse Turner, when he busted out in the scene and he was writing all his songs, he ain't the best lyrics in the world, but man, people sang the hell out of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what counts. So, while I do agree with Bobby in the sense of, well, he was in Mexico, so he needs better songs for over there. But as Tejanos, man, just give me a good groove. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't look. I told my drummer, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And then the video, I mean, my my engineer, he's the one who records us. He says, man, he heard the song after he recorded. He's listened to it. He said, bro, we gotta do the video like, what do you call it? Like Skid Row, 18 to life. Have you seen it? And I'm like, no. And he sends me the link. I said, okay, I like this. So I sent it to Daniel. And bro, it's gonna be a tripped out video. If you remember Skid Row 18 to life, or if you haven't, go check it out. It's gonna be very similar, you know, just youngsters who are traviesos, and you know, you do something you can't take back, and then later in life, you know, basically this song is saying, amigo mío, it's okay, leave
Yeah.
the past in the past. You know what, we can always start all over. That's basically what the song's about, and I think the people are going to really enjoy the video.
Oh, well, yeah. And that's April 7th, right? You said?
Yep, we're going to be on the
April
Free
7th.
Amigo show, and we're going to debut it there
Nice.
on their show, and then right after, we're going to premiere it on our Meches Music.
There you go, right there. So just for the record, also, Juan said he did need some lights for his Adidas. Okay, so
Oh shit! I can't
Yeah.
help you, but I can send you those cheap ones from Amazon that we use. And I only pay like $45, bro. Hey, this is like my fourth pair. I've got like 6 or 7 pairs, a bunch of different ones. Now the standard ones that we use, this is my fourth pair. I have a blue one, I have a silver one, I have a gold one, with the gold ones you saw in the video, and black
Mhm.
ones that just look like that. So I got more shoes than you can imagine. I love clothes and stuff. So that's why people say, man, you have some wicked clothing. Oh, yeah, man. No, I got more clothes than you can imagine. This is just my show clothes in that closet. My other closet,
Yeah.
and I got trunks full of clothes too. Shoes all here. I got like 30 or 40 pairs of tennies.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I love clothing
Yeah.
and colors. My wife, dude, she's I gotta buy shit hidden away from her, because if not, it's a fight.
Just
It's a
make,
fight.
let's make sure she doesn't watch this podcast. All right.
No, she was tuning in a while ago, but it's not something that she doesn't know. But I'll
Yeah.
hear it when I get off.
Yeah. Right. She's gonna start looking for everything you have hidden somewhere.
Well,
I'm
she
sure he's
already
got
did
some
it.
there.
Like, where does this shit come from? So you just don't worry about it. You take care of your stuff, and I'll take care of my stuff. Do you need some help? I always buy her gifts, so that way, hopefully, it balances out. But it ain't no
Yeah.
way gonna balance out. But maybe it'll just shift the focus off of what I'm buying, because she's,
Yeah.
oh man, I got some jewelry, I got some clothing. Hopefully,
But
End
she's
of the
like,
day,
I don't have four. She's probably like, I don't have 40 pairs of shoes yet. You know what I mean?
Well, she's close. Don't worry.
Close.
I
Close.
close too. Close. No, we're clothing people. You know how that is.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh,
Whatever's
yeah.
your
Yeah.
thing, whatever's your thing. My brother, oh,
Mhm.
that dude, he won't buy. Oh, hell no, he won't buy nothing. I gotta buy him the clothes, because he says we made an agreement. He says, if you buy it, I'll put it on. I said, you got a deal. So I'll buy him. I'm the one who bought him the shoes. He wasn't gonna go buy him. He said, but if you buy them for me, I'll put them on. Once I got him on, then Johnny sees, oh man, they look badass. So then he went and bought his. We're already all on our second pairs, because they're cheap. They're $45, but you know, we
Yeah.
only use them for the shows. I'm not walking around with light ups.
Yeah.
After the
Right.
show,
Right.
I won't turn them off. So I'll go eat. People are looking, look at this crazy son of a bitch. What is he doing? Where is he coming from?
Tony, we're gonna get you a pair. All right, Antonio.
There you go.
There you
Hey,
go.
you gotta think about potente every time you look down at your feet.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. That's some good stuff right there. We're talking once again with Anthony Quintanilla Potente, guys. And Amigo Mio is the brand new single that's been out for what now? I would say probably like a little over about a month or so. Under a month?
It's close. It's been close to a month, because the
To about a
idea
month,
was
right?
to try to get that video out within a month, because I can tell you, too much time, you lose the impact of it. But then again, those first 2 weeks, you know, you're trying to get it out to people to hear it. I've barely been about 10 to 14 days where I think people have already, okay, they really noticed it. The video will be out on the 7th. So, you know, this is the first time that we do that. Usually we put out, they're both together. They're both ready. This one, we didn't have time, unfortunately, but the video is going to be so good that I think people are going to enjoy it, and it's going to be worth the wait.
There you go. So you guys check this one out. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes to wrap things up shortly here with Anthony Quintanilla from Potente and also my co-host, Mr. Antonio V. Guys, check this one out. Amigo Mio is the name of the song. Don't forget it's available on all streaming platforms. Go out there and add it to your
Aunque
playlist.
no te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío. Escúchame, amigo mío, ¿qué es lo que te pasa? Se ve que estás muy triste, abandonado. Sé que has sufrido mucho y no lo mereciste. Ese camino lo aceptaste por tu propia voluntad. Tienes que olvidarlo, amigo mío. Olvida el pasado y ese castigo, amigo mío. ¿Cómo hacer que comprendas que han pasado muchos años y ha pasado mucho daño? Pero quiero que tú sepas, soy tu mejor amigo. Aunque no te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío. Tienes que olvidarlo, amigo mío. Olvida el pasado y ese castigo, amigo mío. ¿Cómo hacer que comprendas que han pasado muchos años y ha pasado mucho daño? Pero quiero que tú sepas, soy tu mejor amigo. Aunque no te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío.
Amigo Mio is the name of the song, guys. Available on all digital platforms. Potente, all right? That's the brand new song that's out there. Video to follow April 7th, so be on the lookout for that as well. That's going to be on YouTube también as well. You can check that out right there on their page, their channel. Potente. Subscribe.
We're going to be we release our videos under Meches Music. I don't know, we're starting to work with my old friend of ours who has a studio there, Midwave Music, and he's looking at maybe trying to get everything together in Potente. I could have done that a long time ago, but I like to help my buddy, the bass player Daniel Sanchez, and Meches Music. So if people can go and look for it on his page, what kind of helps send him a little shine. I tell all the artists that are in this area, not because he does our videos, but I think him and Denise do a phenomenal job with the videos. And I asked him, why don't y'all do more videos? Or I asked him, why don't more artists look for them to do their videos? And they told me, well, you and your brother, we tell y'all to do something and y'all jump at it. Like, Juan Hombre Muerto, I was dressed as the bum. They told me to dress as the bum. I said, I poured myself into that one. And I repented that my brother, he's riding the skateboard. I had to push him because he can't ride a skateboard. So I'm down here pushing him where you can't see him. And he falls down. He's on a bouncing ball, riding scooters. Whatever they ask of us, we do.
We do it.
And because most artists, they just want to stand there and just sing and perform, which is fine. He says, but their videos are phenomenal because you have to want to do that. And if it's not your thing, I mean, I don't blame people for not doing it, but that's why we work so well with them. And I wish more artists in this genre would go ahead and pour themselves more into it. Becoming our, for me,
Yes, of
this is my
course.
favorite part. The video is my favorite part because I finally can relax. I'm not doing about music. We're not actors, but this is our opportunity to get a little acting in, and that's
Yeah.
fun.
And some bloopers as well, as you guys saw in the last
Exactly.
video
There's
there.
plenty of
And
those, dude. I hope Daniel put it on this last one because Daniel is phenomenal, man. On Arrepiéntete, he made like a red carpet in his living room. He put a big old black thing, put some poles, carpet, and everything. And when I walked in, I was like, whoa. When I walked in his house, Arrepiéntete, I said, wow, this dude goes out. So this time we're going, this last weekend or weekend before, we go over there to shoot it. And he says, don't worry, I got the jail cell. I said, like, well, where the hell is he gonna go to jail cell? No, this dude emptied out his room, his spare bedroom, and he made a jail cell. He made the whole thing, tornillos on top, bars, the little thing with the lock. He put
yeah,
a
yeah.
white bed in there. He went all out. I'm like, bro, how long did this take you? After work, maybe 4 days. Imagine 4 days of work to build. Talk about commitment. A jail
Yeah.
cell because we weren't going to find one. So
Yeah.
he built it. And that's the type
Wow.
of commitment that they do in Meches music, you know. And it's not like we're making a ton of money, but it's a pride thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, Daniel and Denise love videos. So they pour their heart and soul into it. And that's why we do the same thing. I said, whatever they ask, I try to do to my very best. And I hope that our videos will inspire some of the younger Tejano artists
Sound
to
artists.
want to do that because the
Mhm.
videos are just so much more entertaining. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. You know, and they're a lot more. Well, they're more entertaining, and it's a thing now than it was back in the '90s. The '90s they were there, you know what I mean. But that was that VHS type of thing, you know what I mean, where you had that
You
little.
remember that all too
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So now it's a different thing, and it's almost an automatic. You do a song, follow up with a video nowadays, you know, because again, you're only. I mean, there's like you said. Well, there's some bands that are releasing 3 or 4 songs within 3 or 4 months. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you know, for the ones that are
No,
doing a single
but
every
the
three
good thing
months,
is that you can, with the ease of the technology you have today and the ease
yeah,
that you can do it with, you can release a song every 45 days and a video with it because
yeah,
like I was interviewing Juan Trevino on the Three Amigos show,
hmm
and he was telling us that his latest video he did, he shot it in 2.5 hours. By the next morning, the guy had it edited and everything because it's just him playing. So,
yeah.
and it's better than not having anything at all. But you saw how fast, not even 24 hours, they shot it, edited it, it's ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could have
Yeah.
happened back in 1995 or 96. Hell no, that couldn't have happened. We didn't have the technology in those days to do that. So, like I said, double-edged sword. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I
Yeah.
think it goes, back. There's more animo right now because of the technology and because everything's on social media. So, when you can do a video that will lie in 24 hours versus back in the day, it took days, if not weeks.
It took weeks. Weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
The editing process, the editing programs in those days compared, bro, I can edit videos here super fast. And I'm not a video editor. I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
some guy who just watches YouTube videos if I need to, and I learn how to do everything I need to learn. That was not possible back in 1995, 96. You had to go take courses. You had to be taught, formally taught to be able to use these things because there was no YouTube to teach you how to run these programs and how to navigate these technical difficulties. You know what I mean? You had to know it. And then
Mhm.
you had to have a ton of feria because,
Yeah.
bro, the computers and the programs in those days, dude, I remember when you'd have to pay like 1,200 for a program. Huh? You can get it for free today, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Very, very true. So, Anthony, I got a question for you, man. Now, what do you think the genre needs right now? Tejano music. What do you think that they need right now, or we need actually to keep continuing to grow and where we're at right now today? What do you
That's
think?
another
What are your
good question,
thoughts?
Keith. That's a real good question. I mean, I have this conversation and it's always different, you know. Uh, at the end of the day, I think what is needed a huge amount of is just basically passion. I
Hmm.
think a lot of artists, and it's not. And I'm not gonna blame the artists. I really don't. I think it's just the industry, the genre, just kind of man. No tienes mucho ánimo to go that extra mile. Like I was telling you about our lights. Do you know how much time it takes to set those damn things up at a show? and to take down. I'm 50 years old. Que la pinche chinga que me llevo, bro. But when I see the videos and I see the pantalla, our screen, and what do you call it, and the lights, and they're working in conjunction, my wife, she says, "Why do you do this to yourself? At 4 in the morning, you're at the motel room. My whole body hurts, but I'm watching the damn video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's passion. And same thing with Danielle and the video. It's passion. And another thing is a commitment to the young artists.
Mhm.
I mean, all
I
of
would.
us in conjunction, all of us, our generation, to apoyarlos, help them, push them out there, and understand that for this genre to survive, it needs you need to appeal to a younger demographic. You know what I mean? And obviously, the younger demographic does not want to see 50, 60-year-olds. Okay, they want to see 20, 25-year-olds. You know what I mean? So that means we need to help the younger artists and encourage them to do their music the way they want to do it, and hopefully that sound will appeal to a younger demographic, and then it starts from there. I mean, that's all I can do. And again, like I said, another thing I always refer to a lot of the artists. You see how I dress wicked and wild, and Marcus says psychedelic conjunto. That's what he calls me. Psychedelic conjunto with those crazy colors you wear. I said, you know what's one of the best compliments that anybody could give me? You know why? Not that the psychedelic or whatever, but the fact that he thought he had to put some thought. Man, this is like psychedelic shit. You know what I mean? That means he don't forget it. When he sees it, he says, "Oh man, those dudes, they dress unbelievable, wicked. The colored shoes, the ridiculous outfits they use. Everybody can be a great band, but there's too many great bands out there. You know this. You interview all kinds of artists. There's a bunch of good bands. How do you stand out when everybody's good? How are you going to remember an artist? But if he's dressed ridiculous and he's not like, you're not going to forget the Cuatro Vatos Locos, the Garcia brothers with those zoot suits and that hat. You can't. You're not going to forget the crazy pimps and that sequence out. You're not going to do it. One of the girls that I like, Jessica Sachs, her little cowboy hat, her colored hair, her dresses, her boots. I just saw her with some pants with a heart on it. I was like, man, that's what I'm talking about. I said, because you don't forget that. You know what I mean? It all goes together. So I think that, that would help also, if we consciously just pretend that this is Vegas, you know what I mean? Show. Even if I'm not saying you got to be jumping around like a clown like me. You don't have to do that. But just that, in other words, Dean said it one time. Yeah, when he says that they would go buy outfits from Culturas, he would say, we'd go find and we would look for something that we would never wear on an everyday wear. And that was good enough for the stage. I said, exactly. You think I'm going to wear these ridiculous outfits that I wear daily? Hell no, I'm not. But when I'm going to go on stage, I want people to remember, man. I want to leave a lasting impression. I don't want to leave a lasting impression when I'm going to Walmart or going, I want to be real, just get in, get out. You see, but differences, and I think all that put together, if we all work on that as a genre, I think, you know what, maybe we can do something. That's all I can say.
That's all you can say. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's some good stuff right there, man. So take that and run with it, all you youngsters out there, man, and just getting into the to the business. And any last words from you, Antonio? Any questions you have for Anthony?
No, you asked what I was going to ask, and it's all about working together.
Yes. What else? What? Tell me, Tocayo. Come on, tell me. Give me some thoughts.
No, I mean, it's easy to say, we all need to work together, but to act out and go through the motions is the second step. Because, I'll admit I'm guilty of it.
Of course.
But nobody's perfect either, tampoco, right? But somewhere along the lines, we gotta set the examples for these younger guys as well.
Well, I would say this. I just had an interview with someone. I'm not going to mention who. I didn't know that I had met them, and I told him it's a pleasure to meet you. And we met before, and just the tone of it, I knew that something had happened many, many years ago, and obviously I couldn't remember. But as soon as I found out who they used to play for, like clockwork, you're talking about 1996. 30 years ago, and like it happened yesterday. You know what I mean? And these are things that happen in those days. Shit like that happened all the time. I mean, with Mas and Tropa F, those are throwback bands. They would fight. You know what I mean? You don't see that today. There, everybody se presta la mano. So I think it's better today in that aspect than it was in those days. Because everybody wanted, hey, you know who I'm closing the show? You know who I am? No, I'm going to close the show, or I'm not going to play. I don't think you see that too much today. And I think that's a good thing. And the collaborations, man, you didn't see collaborations. Nobody was going to help nobody. You think I'm going to help you? I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to take my people that I worked hard to get, my listeners, to go to you. Hell no, I'm not going to help you. Today, look at the collaborations that we have.
Yeah.
So I think we have grown in that aspect. And that is a very good thing. You know what I mean? Because that's us helping each other. Because Jay Sterling is a class example. Man, that boy, you just reach out to him, he'll do a collaboration with you, man. He's happy. He puts his heart and soul into it. Okay. And that's when I wonder, good people. You know what I mean? That wasn't happening in 1995, 96. Nobody helped. Nobody.
I remember them days, and nobody wanted to open for the other one. Everyone wanted to close, or they were the headliner. It was a hot mess back in those days.
It was ugly. Some of the things that would go on, behind. I mean, of course, a lot of times this shit would get resolved behind stage and shit. But or in the dressing rooms, but it ain't pretty. Now the people don't see necessarily what's going on. But I mean, I had some instances like that, and now that's because we weren't closing. Just shit that people would do to one another back in the day. I mean, we had a run in with Moss a long time ago. And it was ugly. What was done to us? I'm not going to reference it, but it was nasty, and you don't see that. I don't think we don't see that today because I think we respect one another more than those days. Or it was more about machismo because it was Generation X. It was about machismo. You don't. Today's generation doesn't necessarily feel that, and I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? There's pros and cons, but I do like that artists today tend to want to help one another much more than in those days, and I think that that's a good thing, and I hope that continues. You know what I mean? It's okay to go ahead, sir.
It is a good thing because you just said it, the key word. I always like to look and listen for one thing. We see it now because we see these different calibrations. Like you said, we didn't used to see that before.
Collaboration.
That means something's working. Something's out there, and some people may not realize it. But there's some of us we're watching, we're paying attention. Some of these calibrations, like you would have never seen that before, and it works. It's working.
Well, see, in this it does. Okay, because I mean, I don't know if y'all Spurs fans or not. But I'm not. I'm barely becoming a Spurs fan. Okay, Wembanyama. But one thing that I like about Wembanyama is that this guy is a throwback guy. He's not scared to say what's on his mind, and I think that's what basketball has been missing. A guy that says, you know what, I don't like you, and I beat you, and I want to beat you. You're the MVP. I want what you got, and that works because it's competitive sports. Okay, so where you're supposed to, you're fighting for the championship. But in this industry, what are we fighting for? Is there a championship? Is there more money that we're going to get if we're at the end of the road? You know what I mean? Really not. So there's no point in holding somebody back because look, está destinado. We're not competing. We don't go and share the stage, and then the crowd is saying they like this band versus this band. It's not like that. It's not a competition. But in sports, it is. And it doesn't work in football, basketball. I hate basketball today. They're all friends. You think Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan were friends? They hated each other. And it was good for the sport. But now they all want to be friends. That's what I like Wemby. He's telling you, I want what y'all got, and I'm coming, and I don't care what you say. And I think he's going to save the NBA, gentlemen. I think so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's awesome. That's some good stuff right there. Always great to talk to this dude right here. We're talking about Anthony Quintanilla from Potente, guys, and we want to appreciate and thank everybody who tuned into the show tonight as we're out of time. But, I mean, we're looking forward to the next already, Anthony, man. This is the first time I had him on the show tonight, and we're going to have him back. There's no doubt about that in the future, so you guys stay tuned as well.
Before we go, I want to mention one last thing.
Sure.
We'll put in the envelope on the videos. While this video, Amigo Mio, coming out April 7th, is going to be really good. I think people are going to enjoy it. The next 3 are going to work in conjunction in a big story. Okay, so
Okay.
they're going to be 3 videos. They're not all going to come out. They're going to come out about 3 months apart, but it's a big story. So the first one's going to say part of the story. The second one will say another part, and the third one will say we'll wrap up the story.
The
So
story.
that's going to be something that we're going to try, and like basically to be continued with the cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we're pushing the envelope on that, and hopefully when that all comes full circle, maybe I can come back on your show and we can talk about that early next year sometime.
Heck yeah. That'll work. We'll definitely keep that in mind for sure. We'll look forward to that as well. And everybody, again, to everyone on the Tejano TV that is tuned into the show, thank you guys. We appreciate every one of you guys for showing us some love tonight here on Tejano Time Podcast. Antonio, any last words?
No, Anthony, it was great meeting you and getting to know you. Looking forward to a lot more of your stuff that you got going on, your videos también. And don't be afraid to reach out. We're on Facebook. Anything that we can do for you on our end over here in West Texas, we're here for you, man.
Thank you, gentlemen. I want to thank both of y'all for having me on. It's a pleasure, Keith. I want to thank you for sucking it up. D gave us a hard time with you, okay? But don't worry about what D. We were there for you. That's what matters. Because I know. But man, thank you for sucking it up today. And what do you call it? Because I know I can tell in your your nasally.
I'm under the weather, guys, but I'm here. I wasn't gonna miss
it
for nothing.
It means a lot. I appreciate it. Saludos para toda la raza que sintonizó el programa. I'm going to be on Puro Potente this Friday at 8 o'clock. You can watch it on Tejano TV. You can watch it on my page, Anthony Quintanilla, on YouTube, Puro Potente. It's always a great time. So hope to see everybody in the Potente studio.
There you go, guys. Don't forget, 8 p.m. Fridays. You got to check that show out. It's going to be awesome right there. It's De Puro Potente, and follow him. Give him a follow. Check him out on YouTube. Don't forget. And also, Amigo Mio is out. Stream it. It's on all platforms, guys. Go out there and add his songs and all those other hits that he's got out there as well. También all the new stuff he's got, all the videos. Go check it out. Look him up on YouTube. También Potente, guys. All right? Look him up and add him to your playlist as well. All right? You guys have a great night. God bless, and thank you so much, guys. Peace.
Saludos. Nos vemos.